Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're dialing in from. I'm John Johnson. I'm the chair of the Iowa-Illinois Computer Society chapter, and I have with me Binto George, who is the vice chair this year. And we have a presentation that I want to get started. Arman Ansari from Nepal applied to speak at CornCon, my conference that took place a month ago, and he was unable to make it to the US. And so we suggested, hey, this sounds like a good talk. Let's make this Computer Society Tech Talk. And so this is a joint IEEE and Docent Institute presentation. Arman is an IT security advisor at Tribhuvan University in Nepal. And he's worked with Microsoft, the government of Nepal, and he's been recognized for his research and community programs. In particular, helping early career practitioners build sound security habits. And if you can see over my shoulder, that's what we do at Docent. IEEE partners with us to deliver content to K through 12 students, college students, and professionals. So that said, I would like to hand over the reins to Arman and let him present. Thank you.
Thank you, John, sir. Good afternoon, or as we say in Kathmandu, namaste. Thank you, Dr. Binto George, IE Computer Society Illinois section, and everyone joining here. I am Arman Ansari, as said by John, sir, IT Security Advisor at Tribhuvan University. Today, we will do something practical. We will walk through a real incident, unpack how simple attacks actually happens, and leave you with checklists you can use tomorrow. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Should be sharing now. So this talk is called Real World Cybersecurity Essentials, and what actually works. I will tell a couple of stories that kept me awake. So you where XSS, IDR, and SQL injection come from. Connect the dots to OWASP fundamentals and end with a roadmap you can use to reduce risk in any organization. At the end, I will talk about an ongoing social engineering case. I will deeply researching on, and I will also offer the interested to join me in investigation to enhance learning in Cybersecurity Defense Act. Please keep noting the questions that come in your mind while I give the presentation, and at last we will have a few minutes to discuss them. Or if you have the curiosity and it is beyond resistance, you can raise your hand and ask. Here is our webinar's structure, our agenda today, and let's start. Everything in tech collapses to records, identities, and decisions. That is the lens I use. We pour money into fancy defenses, but breaches almost always start with something ordinary: an unpatched plugin, a missing access control, and a forgotten endpoint. Where attackers find that tiny crack, they exploit it at scale. I'm sharing two quick hooks to set the tone. Two cases that I have been working on. This is the case one, and okay. Data leak by Kazu. A different actor quietly exfiltrated terabytes of education records, then leaked 100 gigabytes of samples and asked for ransom. No flashy defacement, just leverage and patient. We talked with that actor on Signal. The ask was transactional. The root cause, ordinary weaknesses amplified by scale and time. Here is the screenshot of Dark Forum where he is asking for the money for 1.4 terabytes of data of Government of Nepal Ministry of Education data. We checked the data was uh, appropriate, and he was truly asking for money for the correct data. Another, we have the case for defacement of government portal. Imagine waking up to screenshots of your government website showing a troll banner. No data stolen, but reputation shredded. Our logs showed a sequence of post requests to an upload endpoint that should have been disabled months earlier. That was the whole attack: neglected configuration plus one allowed upload that equals to splashy public embarrassment. Here is the screenshot of website that was defaced by the threat actor. He has written bad words about the politicians and the security system behind it. And these two cases are very different incidents, but have the same root cause. They ignored the basics. So if there is one practical tool I will always return to, it's the OWASP top 10. OWASP list the most critical web app risks so the team can prioritize the fundamentals. Fixing this reduces the majority of risk. Let me give you the actor's version. 10 short lines you can memorize like a script. Here, the number one, injection. It is like the form field becomes your FOI. SQLi and OS commands are some example. And those broken auth, like key lefts under the mat. For example, the mat, we have left the key under the mat. It is same like that. Weak sessions and exposed tokens inside the codes. Sensitive data exposures. The secrets in plain sights in the code openly. The important API keys are exposed. XSE is like old XML parsers that read your local files. Broken access control, like users doing things they must not, like getting access to something that they were not meant to access. Security misconfiguration is like defaults, debug pages, open ports, etc. Cross-site scripting, or we say XSS, is like attackers script runs inside your user's browser. We'll be briefly explaining this in next slide. Insecure deserialization, opening data that runs code. Vulnerable components is like one outdated library syncs the ship. And the last one, insufficient logging and monitoring, is one very important. We can relate it like the guard that is blind is protecting our system. You can ask for more information on any of the view if you are interested. Now talking about the trends, XSS, or we say cross-site scripting. A public forum lets users post comments with images. One comment included a short script and suddenly user session started acting weird. The image shows the complete mechanism of cross-site scripting. The poster injected a small script into the comment field. When the other users loaded the page, the script ran in their browsers and stole their session cookies. What did the impact? Compromised session, account takeover, and social engineering on the platform's users. So any platforms having input boxes, for example, the comment section of Facebook, the message box of Zoom or Google Meet, can be XSS vulnerable, and attacker could have sent the infected script into that. But these companies spends a lot for these defenses, so it is safe for us, or maybe not. Another is IDOR. The full form is Insecure Direct Object Reference. An internal portal used numeric IDs in URLs. And for example, the ID 200, and if the another user changed the number and you could download the other student's transcript, it is IDOR. No server-side authorization check. The attacker enumerated IDs and collected the data. What did it impacted? Serious privacy breach, regularly exposure, and trust damage. Recently, one of the students in Purvanchal University was able to check the mark sheet of any student he wanted. And that was the perfect example of IDOR. The many cases related to this keeps coming in the cyber bureau, and it's very trending. Another is SQL injection. A legacy search box built a SQL listing by concatenating user input. An attacker typed or 1 is equals to 1, this type of term inside the input box, and this mixes with the codes inside the our SQL file like this, and it helps in bypassing the user name and password of the administrator. It is unsanitized user input used directly in SQL. The attacker manipulate query logic to retrieve or modify data. What did it impact is like data exfiltration, data tampering, root access to business logic. The case we previously discussed related to defacement of government website was related to this, and many admin login portals gets bypassed this way and damages a lot. We get hundreds of cases every year related to SQL injection. These stories feel technical, but the defenses are not magic. Parameterized queries, authentication checks, escaping monitoring, they are discipline. And once we follow the guidelines of OWASP, they are all well. The oldest trick, if you had to choose one thing to worry about, it's people. Social engineering is the favorite path to breach because it attacks the human inside the system. And once the human inside the system is being attacked, the system itself get hacked. Two things to accept here. Pretexting is getting better. AI makes convincing messages at scale. And another is training and culture matter more than a single lecture. Here is a recent wake up. Microsoft's research show an AI generated phishing is dramatically more effective. Attackers can craft messages that get people to click far more often. Despite the new weaponry defenses we know still work. MFA, inbox filtering, behavior-based detection, and user education remain essential. We also have many tools by AI that is being used for attacking purpose, but we are not going too deep here. There is a scene for AI. This one is a two-factor dialogue in my head. Defender versus offender. Defender, AI will automate the boring triage, the noise, and help us focus on the nuanced threat, and deeply it helps a lot in defensive security. Offender, AI will write better phishing, more malware signatures on the fly, and scale attacks. And nowadays, I see a lot of AI tools coming in the market used for offensive purpose. Both are right. And here I realized the future is all about war between AI and cybersecurity. So what should we note here is AI helps defenders triage huge volumes of data surfacing suspicious signals faster. That's how you shorten detection time. I used machine learning based triage in military work. It boosted signal to noise and let senior analysts focus on real threats. But I'm not comfortable letting an AI system run free and make network-wide blocking decisions without human oversight. Business context matters. We don't always want to immediately cut off an attacker off. Sometimes we want to observe them and learn from them. We let them attackers to attack our system and learn from them how to prevent. That is called defensive by offensive method. And the offense side, AI helps craft convincing social engineering and can automate small polymorphic changes to malware. That means we must strengthen basics, accelerate detection, and invest in resilient response playbooks. This is the part you can print and hand to your teams, but let me explain it. There are 4 or 5 defensive job for every offensive job. So we should learn the defensive things first. What we have to do is enable MFA everywhere, patch carriage, remove unused endpoints, harden configurations, server-side authorization, secure secrets, and follow the OWASP rules. I have attached in the PDF file. You can ask me later after the session. This is a research paper written by me about a trending and ongoing social engineering attack. This is a significant case involving investment and share trading fraud in Nepal and is currently under litigation and is being investigated by the Cyber Bureau Nepal Police. This is a SMC app allegedly engaged in illegal activities. They promise to return 300 to 400% of money that we invest inside it. It's being investigated and will be sorted. Let's see when. So I will, as said by sir, I will be sharing some roadmap for the next 90 days. From day 0 to 30, uh, I urge you to connect with the cyber security industry specialist on LinkedIn. Their bounty post, informational post will motivate you and will make you productive. And choose a VDP target, a vulnerability disclosure program target, and give your best in finding at least one bug. From and the next phase, day 30 to 60, try to attend the cybersecurity events. Now you have recognition, you will build a network in the events, apply for the seminars, conferences, and if possible, write a paper. The 30 days for public outreaches. And next, day 60 to 90, the last 30 days, keep finding vulnerabilities, writing research papers, and apply as a speaker in the events like I tried. And you will get everything automatically. We will learn everything automatically. I was told not to make this webinar too technical, so I presented a very simple and the best method to enter the industry like a hero. In Nepal, the industry is still improving and developing, and I feel good to attend the meetings and conferences related to cybersecurity, and it motivates me. So about the defense by offense, I said I teach students start with defense. There are 4 to 5 defensive jobs for offense, every offensive job I said. So we need to learn defense first because it has the good scope. You will better be a offensive practitioner later. Defense by offense, a phrase I used to mean test what you build, but build a resilient defense first. Use threat modeling, use adversary emulation, but prioritize controls that reduce real world risk immediately. Security and OWASP is not a product, it's a culture. Build the habit of patching, of checking assumption, of logging and learning. Use AI as an amplifier for defense and for analysis, and keep the humans in loop for decisions that affect business and privacy. So this is inside my presentation. I would like to ask the viewer to ask any question they would like to.
Yeah, we
Is
don't have
there
any
any question?
questions in Q&A. So if you have a question, you can put it in Q&A. You can raise your hand and I can allow you to speak. Um, but we'd love to have some questions for our speaker. Armand, do you have any related stories that you'd like to tell, related to your presentation or anything that maybe you left out? Okay, we do have Leon.
Yes. I'm about to explain about the SMC case that I have wrote the thesis or the research paper on. Before that, I would like to ask the any confusions or curiosity to learn about the questions I presented.
Hey, Arman, and this is more of a general question. And now that you have seen this AI being used for defense and offense, how do you think that will affect the landscape, cybersecurity landscape in general?
Thank you for the question, Binto sir. Uh, I have seen the AI entering the industry of cybersecurity, and one of the startup named InRed Lab is using AI for getting the suggestions for what to do and what not to do in defending the security systems of different organizations. They they also use the tools to test and check the vulnerabilities inside the system. They have created the tool themselves by the AI engineers, and I see the future is like AI battling with the cybersecurity themselves as AI is emerging and keep developing. I see that it is possible theoretically that AI will be testing the cybersecurity field themselves, doing manual testing themselves, and maybe it can impact badly.
Thank you for that answer.
Thank you. Is there any question, or can I move to the
I'm sorry.
SMC case description?
Yeah, we have some questions in Q&A. So along the lines of AI, Phil was asking, are there AI tools that can monitor and help with defending the network?
Yes, there are AI tools that can monitor and help with the defending the network. The AI engineers build them themselves, and in the market, I have not specifically seen the one that is specifically for defending the network. What I have seen is for web app technology, web security, and testing the Laravel technology, kind of CMS content management systems. That type of testing are done by AI. I have seen this kind of, and related to networking, I have not seen this, but I have heard it is there in the market.
Yeah, there are a number of tools that go beyond the simple correlation to look for unusual patterns, which is really the forte of AI. I think that would you agree that we need, as defenders, to leverage the same technologies that the attackers are using? So if the attackers are using AI, we need to use some of these advanced tools just to keep up.
Yes. Uh, and also the cybersecurity field is kind of new to all of us. Everything kind of 0-day vulnerability keep discovering. Even in Microsoft, 225 0-day vulnerability is being discovered in every year, and this kind of vulnerability are new for everyone. Even the developers don't know what kind of vulnerability is this. So AI is self-developing thing, and they have the knowledge to use this vulnerability in multiple purpose in different platforms. Like if the vulnerability is found in Microsoft, obviously it might be in Google or Gemini. So they will be they can misuse in that by comparing, testing, and checking if that is present there.
A question from Ed K. Government regulations was asking about government regulations about MFA. Many are now enabling email and texting, for example. If email is compromised, then is MFA useless? I think that gets to, if you're using second factor instead of a strong independent, an authenticator, a pass key, something like that, and you enable text, SMS, or email, then do you feel that that is weakening authentication?
So I'm not getting the question. He might.
I think we would agree with him that if you have multiple factors and some factors are weak, then that weakens the overall authentication.
Okay, I get them.
I don't know that MFA is useless, but when somebody goes to hack your account, they can see what all the I don't have my token. I have to use something else, right? So they can see that. The problem is, I think a lot of consumers, still have technical issues and need to have a backup. So we're not where we'd like to be, but it seems like a lot of the industry is moving towards having integrated passkeys so that if you're on your device, if you've authenticated your password manager, if you've gone through and done your biometric security, what have you, then it allows you to get on more seamlessly. But all right, thanks, Ed. Another question: would you consider social engineering the greatest threat right now?
Yes, social engineering is the greatest threat for the community which are not aware of perfect examples of attacks. For example, the Nepal is very rural area, and this type of places are mostly targeted for social engineering. And the educated players are aware of this, and neither the attackers choose that places to attack because they know they will not get attacked. Here, these kind of places are being attacked, and a lot of cases. We can take an example of 500 to 600 cases per day we get in the Cyber Bureau Nepal Police related to social engineering cases, and 1 to 3 cases related to SQL injection and others that I discussed, cross-site scripting. So yes, this is the most trending attacks going on.
We have some more AI questions here. Shane McDougall is asking, it's not a question, but more of an addition around AI. Cybersecurity, when you consider analyzing logs and monitoring, AI is great, even in its infancy for anomaly detection, etc. The challenge is most AI is public, so you really don't want to point your internal tools, put your internal data or IP addresses and things like that on open to the public AI tools. Would you agree?
Thanks. Who did ask the question? Okay.
Shane. Yep.
Okay. So yes, the data we have should we keep privately. The tokens, as I said, the tokens sometimes are released on the codes API tokens, and the AI sometimes has the power or the accessibility to access that codes. They will, after accessing that code, they are able to access the private information inside the website to the tools that are modified for this. And the AI we are using publicly is not that limited AI. There are many AI now in the market, and the AI engineers are making separate AI tools as per their need, and being used for the attack exist in the market of the cybersecurity. Self-designed AI tools are designed for doing such attacks.
Well, you can see the Q&A, so I'll let you decide which you want to respond to next.
Okay. How would you suggest to develop? I see the question from Brooke Sporlak. How do you suggest to develop a cybersecurity minded culture? Cybersecurity minded culture. Nowadays, many cyber attacks are being performed. The mainly recently I have heard related to the airport cyber attack in UK. They should learn from the mistakes that they have made. And even in the government of Nepal, what I have seen is they don't fix the issues. Most of the portals we see built inside the government, for example, Ministry of Home Affairs portal or Ministry of Foreign Affairs portal, they are built by the vendors. The government has no relations with that vendor. They pay for their domains and softwares. The complete responsibility belongs to the vendor to protect the system, to make the best security system, but they don't care much about this due to illiteracy in cyber security. We can improve them by letting some programs as much as possible, organizing the events, inviting the concerned departments like Cyber Bureau Nepal Police we have, and NCSC Nepal Cyber Security uh, organization. We can invite them, organize such type of program, and run some kind of event to eradicate this kind of issues, that will be very useful for that. Anonymous attendee have asked the question, have you seen AI informed defense correlate with a lack of rigor in defensive security?
Are, I'm not sure
What
if the question means that if you're relying on AI to inform you that maybe you're not investing in other traditional defensive measures. I tend to find the people who are purchasing AI enabled products have more of a budget. And I don't know that AI is being incorporated into the products that for consumers and companies that don't have much of a budget. And so I think that it needs to filter down. That's kind of my view, is that where economically the haves have more to spend on the new tools, and everything has a cost, and the trade-off that you discussed earlier is you might be putting things in the cloud if you're just using a consumer tool and not something that's private. So do you have any views on? I think in the future, I just got a new iPhone, and Apple Intelligence is built in, right? They're going to be leveraging Chat GPT, and so it's really difficult from a consumer or a small business perspective to get away from, AI being incorporated into your tools, often without you even knowing it. But from a security perspective, I think that it's going to become common that security tools will have some intelligence.
Yes, I understand what you want to say. It is a good question. Who is he? I don't see the name. Anonymous attendee. Okay.
Well, we can move on to Leon has a question here. He teaches at Cornell College, a small liberal arts college here in Iowa. Cybersecurity is a new topic for all of us. Some of our students have found their way into this field. And he says, by the way, I have 2 students from Nepal. I would like to hear something about your education in cybersecurity and your recommendation for me as I look for ways to introduce my students to this field. And he commented that 3 of the students accompanied him to CornCon this year.
Okay, thank you, Leon Tabak, for asking for the recommendation from me. I'm recently a +2 graduate, and as an industry experience, I will say I have not entered the college myself. So what I see here, every colleges or teaching institution that teaches cyber, our university, for example, I am from Tribhuvan University. Our university does not have this course, and we have Islington College near here, London University, and some of Softwareika College. They are different university from different nations. So what I have seen is the industry, they give them platform. For example, I have seen the student of Islington. Islington gives them platform to launch their startup. I discussed about InRed Lab. InRed Lab is a startup given by the college themselves to the students to launch the offensive by defensive security program, and they are a profit-making company now to launch the security testing and different projects inside the nation. So this kind of movement can be good for the student to help them launch their own startups inside the cybersecurity field. And one that can be done is giving them a perfect knowledge of not misusing this kind of knowledge. I have seen the people who get divorced due to some reasons. Recent attacks, Kazu attack, I have mentioned, he is highly educated and professional person. He have got education as an ethical student and is still trying to uh, attack the systems inside the government, and he's just a bad person. So I don't want to produce more. I would like to request the colleges to make that kind of awareness among the student. That's it.
Right. Any other questions? Armand, do you have any parting words of wisdom? Any call to action for our audience, or just comments to close our session?
Yes, uh, I don't know how many of here are cybersecurity interested, but whoever here are, I I love if you engage in the cases. For example, find the cases yourself, the ongoing cyber threats, and without entering the systems yourself, try to find the reasons of the cases, try to find the root cause of the cases, try to find what made this case possible, try to go behind the attackers, the threat actor, study about their background, and this will make you give you the knowledge about the scenarios. And later when you enter the industry, this will help you in tackling this kind of issues very easily. And this is a good thing for entering the industry. And I will be explaining about the SMC after the Q&A session, and that's it.
Right. Well, I'd like to thank our speaker and thank our audience for showing up. What time is it there for you, Armand? Or is it midnight?
Yeah, almost 12:25.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate you staying up late so that we could accommodate the time difference. Anything to add, Bento?
No, that's a great presentation. And so we do have an upcoming presentation in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned. And so thanks everyone for attending.
We will post this on our YouTube channel, and if Armand is good with it, I can post his slides so that you have the links from the slides as well. Everyone have a good remainder of your Wednesday, or in your case, Armand, Thursday. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with our next webinar. Thank you.